Well, we're it's the start of day 2. I actually fit everything in my tent last night. It feels a little chilly. I don't know how that's gonna go, but I had my breakfast drink and I'm just about ready to start packing up. We're ready to go. I'm gonna say goodbye, Todd Harbor. You can see it through the trees from my campsite. It was a pleasant night. I went to sleep about 7 o'clock and I woke up about 5 o'clock. Got everything packed up. I'm leaving here now. It's 7 o'clock. Really a lovely day. Promises to be nice for hiking. Okay. It says Hatchet Lake 3.7, but we're not going to Hatchet. We're going to we're going to bypass Little Todd, and we're going to go to North Desor. So looks like a beaver dam, but looks like a beaver dam where the water got let out of. Notice how it's kind of dry with the monkey spots. Just a really pretty morning. We'll get to some better scenery, but this is a good morning. Looking a little bit nasty here. There's a trail that goes behind it, so it should be fine. But this is the beaver dam. This is more, it's got some water in it. With these, you sometimes find moose eating, but it looks pretty noxious. Maybe as we get up. I hear the moose. I can't see him right now. He just ran ahead a few feet, so I have to be on the lookout for him. It was a big one. Fortunately, there's many trees. I found him. He's a she. She's are more dangerous. Like a standoff, she's right in front of me. She knows I'm here. She's going the other way, thank goodness. I was a little concerned. Keep this on for a minute or so. If I see where she went. You can see I'm still staying behind trees. Oh, she's gone. She's right there. She didn't go far. She's curious. I always expect to see moose at places like this with good green grass, but apparently they like water vegetation better. But here we're just crossing a swampy area. Still working our way back up to the ridge. And there's a wild rose growing up through a through a spruce tree. It's a pretty pink flower. So that's the bridge we're working towards to get back up to the ridge. Very pleasant little creek here. Were I in need of water, I could go ahead and filter, but I'm all full up right now. A lot of birch trees here. Big spaces between the trees too, which is kind of nice for seeing. You don't always have that luxury on this trail. There's part where you're going in really deep underbrush, but this is a good one. Here's a shot of the pretty river. It's just really picturesque. Yeah. So this is a spot where people make their mind up. Are they going to go back to the Greenstone Trail, or they taking the Minong? So Little Todd Junction is the Minong. I'm taking the Minong 4.7 to Little Todd, but I'm pushing on to North Desor, so it's more than that. So I better keep walking. All right. One thing you notice right away about Little Todd is that the trail's much less traveled. So on the way to Little Todd, the Minong. So we've shared traffic with the Greenstone Ridge Trail until we got to the junction point back there. Now this is Minong traffic only, and a lot of people don't like the Minong, but we're on our own here. You can see in here the trees are scarred up from the bull moose rubbing the velvet off their horns. There's lots of it in here. This must be the trees that are just right. I just heard a moose crash off into the bushes when my Garmin went off, but maybe we'll see him ahead. Camera's at the ready. Look at that beaver dam. Expect to see a moose in there, but nobody's having breakfast this morning. Looks like we're going back up to the ridge again, leaving the swampy bottom. But this is going to up and down between bumps on the ridge. This ridge is not as pronounced as what we're going to see this afternoon. This is a pleasant walk for today. This is an area that can be a little bit difficult to follow. Getting pretty overgrown, and there's not that many people coming this way, so it makes it a little more uncomfortable. But my biggest concern is getting my foot stuck in that mud. I don't like it. It really stinks. Also, the bugs in here are ferocious, so you make sure you put on enough bug dope before coming in. I did that leaving Todd Harbor. So I feel like I'm in pretty good shape. I'm just staying alert for moose because we're going to be in some pretty close underbrush and there's no trees to hide behind. So I have to be alert and get out of the way if I need to. So this is interesting because this is I really like this part, even though it's a lot of up and down. It's not crazy up and down. Got a swamp to the right of me and another swamp to the left, and I'm traversing the ridge between the two. We go down to swamp level periodically, so it's a lot of up and downs, but I don't mind this. You get a pretty good time on this part. The part that we're coming to this afternoon is a lot more difficult. Your up and downs are much more pronounced, and when you're on the ridge, it's exposed. So it's really a hotter hike. Here, it's very comfortable, except for the bugs. It's a very comfortable hike, and you go pretty quickly. I just love this beaver dam. And we're climbing up the hill. So there's the beaver dam down there. And we've come along the trail there, and we're still climbing up here. These kind of structures happen between the boats on the ridge, so it's up and down. Yeah, I took a break here. Felt really good to get the pack off. Emptied the junk out of my shoes. I sat for about 15 minutes. Ate a little bit of trail mix. And drank about half a liter of water. I'm feeling pretty good. Ready to go on. You can see we're walking through fields of thimbleberry bushes in bloom at this time. These are all along this ridge. And I don't know if it's viewable in the background, but the Lake Superior is a couple miles. You can see it from the ridge here. When we get this afternoon, it'll be a lot more visible. So you can see Sleeping Giant in the background. It's like in front of me. This is the north side of the trail, and it's really one of the reasons you don't really want to be doing this one at night is you just, you know, if you go 8 feet off one side, it really starts a really serious grade, and really even 2 feet off the other side. So you could slip down a ravine relatively easily. I don't know if you can tell it here looking in this camera, but it is pretty steep. These are not little trees, these are tops of big trees. Get a much better idea of how steep it is here. And this is just, if you step off the trail by more than a foot, you're going to be going down the ravine. So some places are kind of treacherous, so this is not a trail done best at night. Little snake was looking all macho. Just a little guy. He's a garter snake. Doesn't bother anybody except frogs. So I came down off the ridges where we're up and down between the wet and then the kind of alleyway on the peak. But now we've got some kind of real mushy mess. So I'm going to turn this on. We can see what it looks like. I'm going to aim you a little bit to the ground. See what we got. Pretty much of a mess. This is the kind of thing I'm always making sure people want to have trekking poles, because this is not something you want to step into. You can lose your boot. It's really kind of bad. So what I'm doing is stepping on what I can see appears to be something solid. Tree roots are always good, much better than the stuff that's added on top. It's that old corduroy put in here. I'm sure the trail crew did it, but bugs are ferocious. Either way is good, but that right there is dicey, so I'm taking this way because I can see the tree roots exposed. These are also slippery, this corduroy stuff, so be careful. Looks like everybody's going this way. Let's take a peek. Yeah, that's a cedar forest here. Obviously, cedar likes this kind of wet terrain, so that's that's kind of nice to run across challenges here and there. Looks like the trail crew left something for us. Eye candy. I'm never a fan of going into places like this. I am never a fan of going in here. I always feel like there could be a moose in here. I don't have an argument with a moose on this kind of crap, but notice the wild irises. And you can hear the river. Hopefully that's where I'm going to be able to filter water. A little treacherous in here, but can't really lose your way. These rocks are put here for you to walk on. You have to get across anyway, but it's not that it's not possible. It certainly is. But it's a good spot to, once I get across, I'll worry about filtering. I don't remember how we did it before. And it looks like there's two preferred ways, right? One is the tree. This doesn't feel the greatest. Not a fan. That looks slippery. This does not look great. I've used the tree before, so worst thing that can happen is I'm walking across the creek. This is a solid bottom, so you don't have to worry about your pole disappearing. But I always get balance issues when I'm worried, so I'm going to stay on the top and not worry. Hopefully I'm not so heavy that with my pack that we go through the whole thing. I want to try to step down to the other one. I don't know if that's a good idea. We crash. Seems to be holding us though. I'm going to try that one now for a foot. Feeling better. Pack's falling over my head, but okay, got some purchase here. Best creek in the world, except for the crossing part. But this is where I have to fill. It's also a good place to put bug dope on. Not feeling the greatest with the chewing I'm taking. But alright, let me turn this off. Gonna get our water out of here. It doesn't look bad at all.